Lips Unsealed podcast. Today we are joined by Jody Kronk of City of Columbus. Hi, Jody. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm
Thanks
good.
for
How are you?
good. Thanks for joining us.
Thank
I
you
know
for
we,
having me.
yeah. I know we kind of chat a little bit about Thanksgiving offline a little bit, but just to kind of get everyone back in the mood, how was it? If you want to do a recap.
I had a great Thanksgiving. My sister-in-law and her husband came up from Fayetteville, North Carolina, which was kind of a nice visit. We haven't seen them for a couple years, and then spent the pretty quiet day at my brother's. Got to see my parents and my nephews,
Nice.
and yeah, so just a pretty quiet, lots of good food.
Nice.
So
That's all you
The
can
most
ask for.
important thing is who's still eating leftovers? Like how long? What's the leftover period for each of you? Like, is it like a one day? Is it a week? Is it a month? I've heard varying degrees over the
uh,
course of my lifetime.
so I have to say, for me, it's pretty nice because not hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't really have any leftovers. So on the one hand, it's nice. On the other hand, I kind of miss a little bit, but usually a day or two and I'm done.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, same with me. I don't host either, but for some reason I made pumpkin rolls this year. That's like my
Ooh,
favorite
Mm,
Thanksgiving dessert.
yum.
So I
that's
just took it
great.
upon myself to make them. And we had two Thanksgivings, so I decided to make three of them because I was like, oh, bring one here, bring one there, and they
If
have
you're
one.
making one, you might as well make three.
Yeah,
Right.
but now I'm regretting it because I'm like, I ate so much pumpkin roll on Thanksgiving. I'm like, I don't need any of this, but now I have a whole log in my fridge. So
Oh,
Awesome.
can you freeze it?
You,
oh,
I,
I
I,
probably could,
you can
honestly.
actually. Yeah, I had a friend whose mom used to make this. She's from Pennsylvania, up in Johnstown. She made pumpkin rolls every year, and she would freeze and give us each one. And yeah, no, those
Oh.
they'll do fine in the freezer, I think.
I should do I always forget freezing things are an option. Like, in my head, it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, if it goes bad, it's done." Like, I don't
Right,
know.
right.
I'm not ashamed to admit I'm still eating stuffing out of the pot.
Oh,
It
there
got
you
made in
go.
the pot. It got stuck in the refrigerator in the pot, and I just go out. I was like, oh yeah, there's stuffing in there, and just grab a hunk and eat it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
Less dishes.
yeah, it's less dishes,
right.
easy access, and that's the way it rolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, I'm happy to be back in the swing of things. You guys just got to see each other in Ohio just before Thanksgiving for what we're here to talk about, which is Tech Connect.
Mhm.
I did not get to. I made it to Ohio, but got stuck with COVID. So just take a moment for the poor Bobby noises. Just
Aw.
wah, wah. Yeah.
Aw.
I made it home. I'm better now, but I swear it's like I still have the disappointment of missing out. It's like I keep thinking every time I think about it, it's like, man, it's like once a year, and that's
Yeah.
it. I've missed
Yep.
this year's iteration, so I'll be happy to relive it again today with Jody and Savannah.
Yes,
Um,
definitely. We for sure
yeah,
missed
so
you.
Yeah,
boy, I, I
definitely.
miss I missed y'all too. So just maybe really quickly, like how was it? Again, I've heard differing tales from around the bend, but how was it for you all?
Jody, do you wanna go first?
Oh, sure. I thought it was great. I like the smaller venue. That's one of the things I really enjoy about it. Uh, the tech part sometimes can go a little above my pay grade, if you will.
Mhm,
But I really like knowing what's out there and what's available, what can be done.
Mhm.
That I can always bring back to my developers, my techie people, and say, hey, this would work for us. Can you make it happen?
yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was great.
Awesome.
You make a good point real quickly before we jump to Savannah. Just coming off the heels, I know you didn't get to go to Summit this year, but you've gone to the bigger events.
Mhm.
It is a nice change of pace. I mean, it's still a lot of content and a lot more intimacy to the event than like say a Summit or a DineCon Live. So
It is a
these
lot more
events are nice.
intimate, and I really like that about it. I'm fortunate in that I have gotten to be on speaker panels with some of the people who present. So I feel like I can reach out and ask them questions on a more frequent basis. But I did
Hmm.
notice a lot of people, especially like with Rachel and Ian, people who know who they are but don't necessarily know them feel a lot more comfortable coming up and asking them questions.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um, and then a lot of it really gets a lot of ellipses to more technical people out front, um, and sharing what they know. I mean,
Yeah,
it is just such a diverse, knowledgeable group,
Mhm.
and everyone is really accessible in that smaller setting.
that is the nice thing about it. It's just really the accessibility. I agree. You're such a laid back atmosphere.
Mhm.
How about you, Savannah? This is your second one, right? Because I actually, that would have been my second as well. I've been at Lips for 3 years, but I missed the first year.
Mhm.
And
I
then the
missed the
first
first year
year
as
was
well.
pandemic. Yeah, there was a pandemic the very first year, and then the next year I missed it. So this really would have been my second one. So
Yeah. Yeah, this would be my second, or it was my second as well. But yeah, going off what Jody was saying, like I am also not one to really like dive into the technical stuff. It's great to like kind of hear it and kind of let it soak in my mind a little bit. But I did think it was really cool, like you were saying, there was a lot of back and forth going on pretty much after each session of people just asking great questions and everything, handing off the mic to whoever. And I think, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't going to the right sessions at Summit, but I don't think I really saw that happening there. So I think that's something very special that happens at Tech Connect, which is great. And I love to see it. But yeah, also with Tech Connect, I'm kind of behind the scenes running around with my head cut off at times
Yes,
as
you are.
well.
right,
Yeah, Jody saw me.
you
Um,
luckily get to breathe.
yeah, yeah. So it is a kind of like an anxiety inducing event for me, but I still love it and it's great. And once it's done, I feel like, I don't know, just
We'll
feel
call it
good.
adrenaline building instead of
Yeah,
There you go.
anxiety
there you go. That's a
inducing.
better term for it.
Well, you did a fantastic job. I
Oh,
mean,
thank you.
everything was spot on. Yeah, everything was great.
She
Yeah,
really did. Yeah. She's
thank
done a
you.
great job. Even first year, kind of being like really thrown in the fire,
Hmm. Yeah.
kind of leading into it. You did a great job last year too.
Yeah.
And you're right about the people coming up. I mean, again, Jody, you've delivered sessions in different venues, and again, the more intimate it is, the more people are apt to open up. I mean, we just did Summit, and it happens so often, like in a group of 50 to 100 people sitting there, that people get a little gun shy, and you say, "Are there any questions?" And then no, there's nothing. There's crickets, and then you end the session, and then 4 people line up in front of you with questions
Mhm.
because they're afraid to talk out in front of everybody.
And then
So
you're
when
rushed because you have to get to the next session,
you
which
have to
is
go somewhere, somebody else is coming in, yeah. So
right.
you lose out on that time to be able to help folks. So it is nice um, to see that interaction happen when
Yeah.
the gathering just is a little bit smaller, and you get to know the folks a little better, so you're just more comfortable. And session wise, I'm glad you brought it up. It is technical, but we've been talking about how to maybe add another layer of functional topic in. What would you think? What would you think about that, Jody? As far as like attendance or viability, because it's been truly a technical. It started out, we did the Origins podcast
Right.
a few weeks back, but started out as a replacement and just a way for our tech team to get connected and learn topics that they might not know about, giving everybody kind of some buy-in and an ability to teach and learn, and turned into this. But now we're talking about, hey, can we open it up? And we're talking a couple of different ways to do it, but maybe a kind of a full day or a half day, or somehow getting some functional topics in that are maybe a little more technical but also functional.
Personally, I really like the technical aspect of it. What I would do is make sure that each technical presentation has a functional component. Um,
Interesting. Yeah.
this is a when you might use that. This is a how you
Mm,
might use this. This is a,
mm,
a use case. And
yeah.
here's the technical behind the scenes of how we did it or how we would do it.
Yeah.
I think that would be, and then it just encourage people who are kind of on that cusp of, I have to figure out what my users, my company needs,
Yeah.
how to do things more efficiently. I'm not necessarily the developer who's going to do it. But that, because it also, I feel like everybody is accessible.
Hmm.
I feel like anybody who presented, I could reach out today and ask a specific question to, or put them in touch with one of my more technical resources
Yeah,
and get some questions answered to move things forward. So yeah, my recommendation, I guess, would be to really hang on to the technical aspect and just maybe include, uh, like I said, how you would use it functionally.
I
I
like
really like
that. Yeah,
the
that's a
first
good add.
session of for master planning.
Mhm.
DDMRP was really great, where they talked about the technical side of it, and then and I just completely lost her name.
I think
Uh,
it was him.
yeah, Kim went in
Yep.
and talked about, this is what it's doing this is what it looks like from the functional side. This is, what he talked about was everything that happened in the back side. But
Yep.
this was, and it was, I mean, it was an eye opener for me. I wish I'd had that a couple years ago when I was working in master planning.
Right. Yeah.
So
Um, No, that's a good point. I like that. I mean, even if we expanded it out to like a day and a half,
mhm,
or 2 days and a half, so you had extra half day somehow, so you could expand each session into a little bit longer, so you could get some really deep technical side, and then add that functional layer, and then it
mhm,
really does appeal to like that kind of that special person. Like you're, I feel like you're like me, like Savannah. Like you, I hear the technical, and of course in Dynamics world, I was technical, so I understand it and like it a lot. Um, but there's other aspects of my life where I'm not. Like I work with the MS Society, and I jump at every opportunity to listen to doctors talk about
right,
advancements in technology, even though I don't understand what they're talking about. It's like I have to
right,
go look up every other word, but
right,
it's still interesting to me because it's I'm learning something about the process and about where they're headed and going, and a lot of times, like you said, that it might be really medically based, and so it's above my brain power, but then they'll go into the functional side of how it's impacting people.
right.
So it is a good way to go about that. And you mentioned Microsoft, so that's another something we've been striving to keep. I think a couple years ago there was they had one person, and last year we had two. This year we added a third.
Third, yep.
You know, we were talking about should we add a space for one more even? What's your feeling on Microsoft's involvement, and how they presented?
I like having Microsoft involved. I have to admit, I'm friends with Ian and Rachel. So two of them, part of it was purely social. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed getting a chance to see them. Um, I also enjoy listening to both of them speak. I think
Hmm.
they're both really good speakers. Um, and then I'm totally gonna mess up his name. Delete.
Yep.
Delete. Yep.
Yes.
Delete Singh. Yep.
Um, I got a chance to. I thought what he talked about was really great. Got a chance to introduce myself to him later. It was great. He used City of Columbus as an example, without
Yeah.
knowing that we were there.
Isn't
So
it? I
that
heard
was a
that.
lot of
That's
fun.
fun.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. But I
Yeah.
talked to him about some of the things that he talked about, and what what we see for our future, and how we
Hmm.
could kind of implement some of those ideas. And he was like, "That would be
Yeah.
great. If you do that, give me a call. I would love to help."
Yeah.
So I
It's huge
think,
power platform, and you guys are big in the power platform,
yeah,
so is it kind of a natural match? Yeah.
yeah, and I think that really, I think it makes people feel like Microsoft is more accessible to them
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
can meet people. They're just everyday people, just like we are, and they're doing their job, right? They're
Yeah.
focused on doing what they need to do, but they're representing Microsoft, and to be able to meet them in person makes you feel like you really have that more accessible ability to have Microsoft, big Microsoft, hear you, whether
Mhm.
Yep.
they can do anything about it or not. Um,
They
somebody
definitely
still
listen.
heard
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you bet. Their ears are open, and
Hmm.
it's nice for them to break. Like you said, there seems to be is an odd barrier. Like you said, is it's this big Microsoft corporation, but at the end of the day, these are folks that are trying to make a software that is going to support you know thousands and thousands of users across the world. That they're looking for ideas and feedback. They
Hmm.
really truly do want to hear and see and get this one-to-one connection. So it's I think it's a great thing. Yeah. Um, again, you hit me with the fear of missing out. I also am good friends with Ian and Rachel, and of course Rachel and I had been working on a fun Back to the Future themed
Right.
presentation.
Yeah.
And it was like, I want to do this thing, and I was thinking about doing Back to the Future. Can you be Marty McFly? And this is like months ago. I was like, yeah, sure. And so we got together at the local user group meeting just before the Tech Connect, and took some pictures of her in her
Right.
outfit that I
Yep.
used to put in the PowerPoint, and yeah, so of course, just another aspect of what I missed. But yeah, I would have loved to have been there to see and hear from her as well. So
Yeah,
what
that
else at
presentation.
Tech Connect? Sponsors. Yeah, we go through. We added a lot. We had a few more sponsors this year. We love hearing from those folks as well, because and even locally, I mean, Jody, you're a local chapter leader for
Hmm.
the user groups. I find that the folks that are in the channel, they're at the ISVs, they're at the partners, they've all got decades of experience. It's great to have these people at these events, especially when they're engaged and understand their role in the education process of it. So I think we've been lucky to have some really good sponsors. What was your feeling there? I mean, again, not having been there, but knowing all the folks and missing out on just the friendship side of it. How do we can dovetail it to the user group side too. How did you feel the sponsors were at Tech Connect, and in your own chapter meetings? How do you interact with sponsors?
I like having the sponsors involved, and I think that I've seen a shift over my years of being in the channel. Is they are It's less high pressure than what it was originally. Um,
Feels like it.
everyone everyone is pretty aware of what each of the vendors offer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows what
Mm-hmm.
everyone does. Um, and they're there, they're offering educational information, and they're, like I said, they're not pushy. Again, it's a lot more personal to say, hey, we're looking at AP automation. What exactly do you guys offer? Um,
Yeah.
or for us, we're looking at test automation, regression testing right
Mm-hmm.
now. Our SAT is not getting it for us on at the level we need it to. So we're starting to look at
Yeah.
options. And I had actually, not to plug anyone, but TestSmart, we had just had a call with them a few days before, and then got
Right.
to run into Scott at the conference, and we discussed a little bit more, and I feel like he got an even better idea of exactly what we're looking for, and can kind of
Great.
tailor it to, kind of tailor their proposal more to
Mhm.
exactly what we're looking for, rather than here's just this general thing, and then something gets left on the table, either something we wanted or something they can offer that we
Mm-hmm.
didn't know existed. And I think that happens a lot with those resources.
Yep. And it's a lower pressure situation too. It's not like you said. It's not
Much.
like you're not under the gun. You're just gonna either you're doing it around lunch, or maybe at after hour, happy hour, or social event or whatever, that you're able to have these conversations a little bit more organically, and not as pressured. So that I
Right.
think it's a good
Yeah.
thing. Savannah, how did it go with the sponsors this year? I mean, you feel like we had a pretty good group.
Yeah, I think it went pretty well. I think all their sponsor showcase sessions went well. Um, Not quite sure with like the area they were sitting if they got as much like traction as last year, but I do think it was
Mm-hmm.
like a little less crowded up there than it was, which I
Yeah.
think was kind of what our goal was. So yeah, maybe next year we'll have to have some little game or something, go talk to the sponsors and get a prize. I don't know. But yeah, we had a great group. They were all nice. It was nice getting to know some of them that I didn't know quite as well
Mm-hmm.
before. So yeah.
Like a sponsor hide and seek. We can hide the sponsors around the library somewhere, and you have to go find them for
Yeah.
prizes.
Or like a bingo card, or
Yeah,
Right.
the
scavenger
bingo
hunt,
card. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
man, that's the way it works best. Is that again, if it's a low pressure, I mean, the sponsors are doing a job in supporting the event, making it accessible for
Hmm.
everybody. It's a pretty low cost event. We're really
Oh
just trying
yeah.
to cover a cost at the end of the day, and they're helping do that. And again, in a low pressure way, if folks are interested, like you said, it worked out perfectly. Very very nicely that you were in the market for test automation software, and bang, you've got somebody there to talk to and kind of deepen that relationship and opportunity. Right. So that's good to hear. Did you get to go, Joe? Did you end up leaving early, Jody? I know you mentioned you had something going on the next day. Maybe you weren't able to stick around for the charity event.
Yeah, I was not able to stick around for the charity event. I was talking to Gregor for a few minutes after that had started before I left, and it looked like it was a lot of fun again this year.
Yeah. Yep. So you made it to the trivia night again.
I did.
Totally missed out. So how did you do? Did you win second place?
So technically, our team answered the most correct questions.
Okay.
We did not wager well on the final.
There was wagering involved. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was. You kind of had to. You got the category, and then you had to bet some of your points. So kind of like Final Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I can't even remember what the actual category was. Maybe planets or something with space, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
We were not terribly comfortable with that, so we didn't bet high. And then we had the right answer.
Oh, shoot.
I hate that.
And we swept the music trivia. That section, yeah, we swept it.
Was it a sing along, or did you have to tell you had to sing the actual answer?
No, she would play 30-second snippet of a song.
Okay.
And you had to, each one was worth 2 points. You had to name the song and the artist.
Yeah, the artist. And then it was like color themed. So there was either like a color in the song or in the artist name. So
okay, right on.
I didn't know that you guys would have won if you would have wagered more.
We would have, yeah. And we missed the first round by just like 1 or 2 points. And then we did really well on it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
I do love the trivia. That was fun. Like, cause I had a good time doing the trivia last year. We had a good team. We came in second place last year, and I think we missed a question. Everybody, it was one of those questions. It wasn't points though last year. I don't think we did the points thing last year, Savannah. I think it was just questions and answers.
Yeah.
I think this was a different.
I think it was a different person. Yeah.
It was. Yeah. So.
And but they think they also did a thing with the songs. I remember guessing songs last year too. So maybe that's a common trivia theme that they do now.
Yeah.
Boy, I hate that when I watch Jeopardy and a person's leading and they don't bet enough. Somehow they just like, oh, they got the right answer, but they didn't quite bet enough. Man. Well, I again, sure, it sounded like fun. Again, the charity event looks great too. I saw some pictures. I know that we upped our game this year. We heard some feedback from users like you and people that attended, Jody, that said somehow we should give more. And so we figured out a way to do a little bit more this year by adding some toys, and Savannah came up with some good ideas to incorporate giving away a few more gifts, which was great. Looks like we did a good job at getting everything set up. Were there any problems last year? There were like every bike seemed to have some issue, like a pedal was missing or one bike the stem fell down inside. The stem fell down and get it out.
Yeah, I think this year a few of them, like the chain was getting like stuck somewhere, so there had to be some extra love and care on those. And then there was one bike where everything was loaded in the truck, and like a few people were still trying to work on it because something was a little messed up. But luckily, I mean, we ordered one extra one, so it's not too big of a deal. But I mean, it's always great giving back to Flock too. They're a great organization and everything. So yeah, it went well. We got done a little earlier than expected, but that just means people get to go back home or hang out.
Last year we had that chaotic, swapping of tools, and it was just like a madhouse of activity.
Yeah.
Trying to get things done. And did I can't remember, was there I know you had the how did the riddles go, the puns or the different riddles? Were people getting those pretty quickly, or?
They were a little difficult, especially that first one, that with Dennis that we had talked about. But and then after a bit, we kind of started forgetting that they had to answer the riddle to find you. Like they started just coming up to you if they figured out your portion of it. And then I even myself was like, oh yeah, that's right, that's me. And I forgot to even ask them what the correct answer was. So
that's hilarious.
It's all for fun, so it doesn't matter. But so yeah, it was good.
Cool. Anything else that occurred that I missed? Like, that of note. I mean, I know the sessions were great. Everything looked like people really enjoyed the sessions. It sounds like the trivia was a blast, and the charity event was perfect. Flock, like you said, for Love of Children is a great organization, right there in Dayton, that's giving back directly to families in the community. So we love partnering with them. Anything else that happened that was of note? I know Mikhail apparently started off really dark with like a doomsday approach to AI and Copilot.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I was, like, proofing his presentation the night before, and I was like, "I don't know where this man is going with this, but I'll just let him run."
He might have a
So,
point. We don't know.
Yeah.
so he does actually work from a presentation. I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had this all set out, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's
uh,
funny. It was just like he just showed up and just with a sense of doom on his mind.
yeah, he woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
But that's good though, because I think that is as excited as we get about AI and technology, uh, to hear people who are the most excited, right?
Hmm.
Um, say, this has to come with controls. This we have to be careful. I think
Yeah.
makes people a lot more comfortable to hear about it and accept
Mhm.
it.
Yep. I think you're seeing that at higher levels
Hmm.
too, like the Elon Musks of the world, and the people are out there is like, yeah, the AI is great, but there really should be some regulations. It needs to be regulated at kind of every level.
Right.
Is definitely an important message. There's no doubt about it. You can't just blindly, believe everything AI kicks out, and just there's we've got to have some common sense around it too. Which is, I'm sure, which that's where Mikhail was going. It was
Right.
all
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
common sense AI. I got it.
Yeah.
Any
Everything.
thoughts, any direction yet for 2024? I know Mikhail would love to have one of these every month. We're dissuading him from that notion.
Yeah.
Any
That would
thoughts
wear
on
you guys out
2024?
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't doubt about it. There was a collective ugh every time that comes up. It's like we love this event, but it feels like a once a year thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So then, anything that's on the horizon for 2024? We kind of talked a little bit about maybe some changes in the sessions, but anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I know, like Bobby, we've talked about maybe hosting at a different venue. Just always trying to keep things a little spiced up from year to year as well. So there will be for sure be some changes for next year, but nothing set in stone yet. So I don't really want to say anything. But
Yeah, can't commit ourselves in. The venue's great. It's just we're starting to outgrow it. We're really they're
Outgrow it. Yeah.
constructing a way
yes.
to get everybody in there and be comfortable, and like you said, get movement so that everybody's kind of satisfied from all the different angles. It gets tough.
Hmm.
So yeah, it might just
Luckily
be a
though,
necessity.
with Dayton, there's a lot of um, a lot of great venues for you guys to check out and potentially. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, you bet.
the Air Force Museum, Carleon Museum.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I know Mikhail really likes the focus on invention and
Yeah.
technology.
Hmm.
That whole
Yeah.
and Dayton is rich with it.
Yep.
I
You
can't
bet.
wait to see what you guys come up with.
Yeah,
Me too.
definitely. Yeah, I know we've definitely toured some last year, and then we just kind of fell back on the library again. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll figure something good out.
Oh, I
So,
have no doubt.
yeah,
Cool.
cool.
Well, Jody, I appreciate you being here. Like I said,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
sad to miss it. I assume it's crazy. This is you mentioned earlier. We talked about holidays and Thanksgiving, and it feels like we're already getting right into. I don't know about you, but I immediately started watching Hallmark movies on Thanks. I'm a big Hallmarky. I'm not
Yeah.
afraid to admit that. My bowl of stuffing, my pot of stuffing, and Hallmark movies on,
Yeah.
and they added 31 new ones this year. So
Oh, wow.
Oh,
lots of
wow.
every year. They're adding 31 new movies. It's insane. They all
And
have the same plot, but
exactly, that's what I was
different.
gonna say. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. I actually just went to Biltmore in Asheville last week.
Yep.
And,
Cool.
I think they had some signage out with what a new Hallmark movie that they filmed there. So, my mom
That
texted
one I
me.
just recorded it to watch sometime this week. It built more Christmas. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
Yep.
yeah, my mom's a big Hallmarky as well, so she texted me last night, This one's on." So I was like, "I'll watch it some other time," but
That's funny.
that's
Um,
awesome.
There have been so Netflix has been putting out some really cute Christmas movies too the last couple
yeah,
years.
Yeah, yeah.
That's more our speed, less on the romance.
Mhm. I kind of like the
But
kooky ones. Yeah, like we watched the
yeah,
Santa Summit the other night, which was pretty cool. I like the kooky aspects of them, less the
yeah,
serious
Right.
romantic ones. Yeah, so I gravitate where where the nonsense is.
right, right, yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Well, if I don't speak to you, Jody, have a great holiday season. Leading into Christmas and New Year's, and I know we'll be talking soon. We got another event coming up
We do.
next
Yeah.
year. We're getting close to finishing up the submissions on DineCon Live. So if you're listening and you haven't submitted a session and you want to get a free ticket to DineCon Live in May here in Denver, you've got till the end of this week, actually the 30th of November, to
Mhm.
submit a session and potentially get a chance to speak and join cool people like Jody and I in Savannah at the event. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Looking
thanks a
forward
lot,
to it.
Savannah. Anything
Yeah.
else before we sign off?
Nope, I think that's all. Yeah, Jody, once again, thanks for joining us, and everyone have a good holiday season. I'm sure we'll have another pod out soon, but see
Right.
you
Thanks,
guys.
everyone. Thanks
Take
for
care.
inviting me.
You
Yeah.
bet. Yeah.